So Carly Craig thinks Alberta is so racist because look what the Liberal government has done to it. Canadians are the minority and immigrants get all sorts of perks that we don't have access to. It's not fair. I asked for further clarification as to what perks Carly feels like immigrants get in Canada. How about the fact that none of our youth can find a minimum wage job because they're all taken by immigrants because businesses get a tax break? So what Carly's actually upset about is capitalism. And Carly's upset on behalf of a group of people that isn't her because Carly is an interior designer in Edmonton. So Carly is upset because the people that come from other countries that have doctorates are working in places like Tim Hortons because their education doesn't transfer. Carly feels like Canadians are the minority. Carly does not realize that any Canadian that is not Indigenous is actually an immigrant. So Carly, you're upset because you can't work at Tim Hortons? Racism aside from all of that you should spend some time unpacking, which is why I keep saying that Alberta is racist. Not every single person, but these racist undertones for sure. Your provincial government asks for immigrants, and your provincial government is conservative. Your provincial government lobbies the federal government to allow a certain amount of immigrants to come to your province because your provincial government is conservative and they support business corporations. Their priority is making it cheaper for corporations to run so that they can profit more. So they give them subsidies to hire people and it pisses you off and then you blame the federal government. So not only are you racist, you also have no idea what you're talking about. Because once again, it's not your federal government, it's your provincial government. And what your comment really feels like is you just justifying racism. The original immigrants, which would be your ancestors, came to this country, put the people who lived here in residential schools, unalived their children, stripped them of their culture, took their land for profit. Sounds like you guys got all the perks. Sounds like you stole the perks. Also, fun fact, Canada does not have enough people to sustain the infrastructure needed to support the country. Meaning, if we did not allow immigrants into the country, within like 5 years, our infrastructure would actually start to crumble and fall apart because we do not have enough people to work, to sustain and do jobs that people like Carly probably wouldn't even want to work. And the reality is, I lived in Edmonton, actually. I would always go to Jasper and Banff. And what did we all see during COVID or like during the breaks in COVID when you could go places is that all of the stores were closing early. All of them were closing down because they couldn't find staff because those towns largely rely on people coming over on work visas, people on student visas to work in their stores because the people who live in Canada who are Canadians don't want to work minimum wage, low entry jobs. But the people who come from other countries and immigrate to Canada are willing to work those jobs and businesses are willing to hire them because they get subsidized by the government, and your provincial leaders lobby the federal government to allow those people in. Danielle Smith, but you blame Justin Trudeau.